Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately our recording equipment had a technical difficulty during the live event, so we are having to record this commentary after the event. This is still Sly Sebastian and Dave McChaney giving you the goods, though.
It's going to be a good match, trust me. I saw this one live in person, and it's a doozy, that's for sure.
Making his way towards the ring right now is the devil himself from Toronto, Canada, Mr. Dylan Broda, the backbreaker as he calls himself, and he has been missing out of action from Slam Wrestling Finland for at least half a year, Dave.
Yeah, he aligned himself with Lexa Valo and Artur Arter and cost Heidi Katrina her inaugural Slam Women's Championship.
At Hell City Slam 4.
Indeed, and now he's been on the run ever since then. But he's back now today with a championship opportunity against the Rebel StarBuck.
And I think he'd like to have that title as well. Unfortunately, Lexa Valo has already had to vacate the Women's Championship for her injured shoulder, the torn rotator cuff injury that has happened. So I'm fairly sure that Dylan Broda is looking to gain another title, and that title being the Slam Wrestling Finland Championship.
He's going to have a big mountain to climb here tonight. The Rebel StarBuck has been Slam champion for quite a few months now, and he doesn't look like he's going to relinquish it anytime soon.
These two have been at odds at each other for quite some time now, and they actually used to be close friends. They even had a podcast called Shootin the Shizzat, which was probably one of the top leading podcasts out of the Nordics. And for some reason, Dylan just pulled out of it, citing personal reasons.
Well, he's got some personal issues going on tonight, and his biggest personal problem is going to be getting that Slam Wrestling Championship.
Classic Dylan Broda.
And now, introducing your Slam champion, originally from Calgary, Canada, now reigning from Vantaa, Finland, weighing in at 105 kilograms, the Rebel StarBuck.
I'm sorry, but there's just no way StarBuck is only 105 kilograms.
The muscle-clad champion that is StarBuck making his way towards the ring, the Slam Wrestling Finland champion, and he definitely has a bone to pick with Dylan Broda. StarBuck has swore to make sure that Dylan will pay for his insurrection and for going to business for himself, so to say, and meddling and sabotaging with the company business in Slam Wrestling Finland. And here comes the champion now. The Rebel StarBuck, slowly but surely making his way through the crowd and into the ring.
StarBuck is a fan favorite in Finland. He's always got the crowd behind him no matter who he's facing. This time it's going to be an easy pick for the crowd as no one really likes Dylan Broda.
Dylan Broda definitely not the fan favorite, always shooting his mouth off at the audience and apparently camera people as well.
Promising a broken back tonight in this matchup.
StarBuck there having a handshake of honor with Amin Asikainen, the former middleweight champion, a legend in Finnish boxing, who will be facing Timo Laine later on this year. Timo Laine, who already faced Mika Forsström in this here event in a winning effort against the boxer.
Dylan Broda telling StarBuck to hurry it up and get in the ring. He says we're burning daylight here.
Dylan has been slowly biding his time, waiting for the right moment to strike at StarBuck, and that moment might be right now, since StarBuck faced the giant from Malta, Gianni Valletta, back in mid-January in Seinäjoki, Finland, and I'm not sure if he has perfectly recuperated from that match just yet.
It was a brutal affair. StarBuck's going to need to get back into this moment instead of thinking about that one.
StarBuck has time and time again proven to be one of the most resilient grapplers in the game today, not only surviving but thriving in his middle age and seemingly aging like fine wine.
Hey, hold on, wait, this is my favorite part. Of the Tiger, yeah, that's a good one.
The Eye of the Tiger, wonder where he got that song from. Slowly taking off his belt I think it would have been a little bit more eager to get at Dylan Broda right now, but he's taking it slow, not immediately assaulting the former black and green mean machine leader.
Dylan making sure that the fans know their place. Dylan Broda is spouting his mouth off at the audience.
This is a very important match to me. I've been exposed to you, this bastard.
The crowd not happy with his indignation.
And there you see the Slam Wrestling Championship being displayed by referee Teemu Kytösaari. This one will be for all the marbles. Whoever comes out of this one as the winner will be the Slam Wrestling Finland champion. And if you ask me, I think Dylan Broda has an ass-kicking coming his way, and he best be aware that now is his judgment day, and now he gets what he has wanted for so long. But is he ready for everything that this moment means?
I'm not too sure. He might not be ready for it, but the competitors, the competition spirit of battle will be ready.
Dylan trying to get the crowd behind him, but I'm not sure that's going to go his way, unfortunately.
Most certainly not. They're never really behind him all that much, but he certainly has a way with attempting to make them that way.
I'm going to break his back right away, and I'm going to leave him in this ring. I don't care about no championship. I don't care about nothing. This guy, hey, you shut up and get in the corner.
Dylan Broda has no love lost for StarBuck, as you can obviously see. Now telling the audience that he's going to break his back immediately as the matchup begins.
Listen,
We'll have to see.
my time, and I get the floor.
StarBuck still giving Dylan Broda the benefit of the doubt, not immediately rushing him. Waiting for the bell to ring to make it a honorable, respectable championship fight.
Until they ring that bell, it's all on me.
Or maybe not, as he's waiting behind Dylan Broda's back for the matchups to start. And off goes flying Dylan Broda's cap. And now we have the matchup and the action underway. Dylan Broda hasn't even had time to take his jacket off yet. Irish whip from the ropes reversed by Dylan Broda. Here comes StarBuck with a knee to the sternum. Or jawline of Dylan Broda, rolling kapow kick following it up. The champion has taken down Dylan Broda immediately at the beginning of the match.
And here comes StarBuck with a fistful of fury into the corner. Dylan Broda suffering the consequences of his actions.
Reversing the Irish whip is Dylan Broda, but once again taking his sweet time, displaying his wares to the audience, and ends up eating a boot to the face and a lariat from the second rope by the champion. Pinfall attempt by StarBuck. 1, 2, 2 count only. Still a little bit too early in the match, but look at that. Immediately, as per usual, Dylan Broda rolling to the outside. Now to take his jacket off, perhaps.
Do you think he'll take it off? Or do you think he'll,
The jacket off or not?
the jacket off or not? Who knows? I mean, he's taking it off now. The kid gloves have come off. He's getting ready to go at it. Taking him down. But will he be able to defeat StarBuck today?
StarBuck, the champion, still doing his best to maintain his nerves, not immediately rushing Dylan Broda at the start of the match, giving him his sweet time in the outside right now. I think he wants to take this beating very, very slow.
He's gonna want to. He's been waiting for this moment for months, and now that he's finally got it, he's not gonna let it go to a counter. That's for sure.
Referee not even giving Dylan Broda a fast count here, taking it very slow, letting him take all the time he needs in the outside. But here comes the Rebel looking after, or going after Dylan Broda.
When I'm ready, I come in.
Dylan Broda coming into the fight, maybe hoping that StarBuck would have been weakened by Johnny Valletta, but it definitely isn't looking like that. And now turning his back to the Rebel, and here comes StarBuck.
That's just not a good idea turning around against StarBuck. He's gonna pounce on the opportunity to lay the smackdown any chance he gets.
And a kick to the midsection by the champion, sending him to the other corner face first. And Dylan Broda is feeling the effects from those strikes of StarBuck. I think I might have seen already a little bit of blood in his mouth this early in the matchup. And now StarBuck raining fists onto the top of Dylan Broda's dome in the corner. Dylan stopping it in the middle. Manhattan dropping StarBuck, and I don't think he got all of that one.
No, certainly not. StarBuck's not feeling it. And a big lariat to take down Broda.
2, 2 count only that time around. Like said, Dylan Broda already bleeding from the mouth, feeling the effects of those strikes from StarBuck. And now he kicks him down in the corner, stomping a mud hole on the chest of the Toronto native backbreaker Dylan Broda. Look at the mouth of Broda right there.
He looks like the Joker.
Bleeding, maybe a busted lip or maybe bit his tongue. Something to that extent, and definitely feeling the effects of those blows.
Maybe he's just wearing lipstick. Who knows?
In the corner now with a basement dropkick directly onto the face of Dylan Broda. StarBuck, the champion, taking his sweet time, exacting his revenge on backbreaker Dylan Broda.
Now going. Oh, but look at that. Dylan with a classic move. A strike to the throat. A little bit underhanded tactics there.
Shot to the back and the midsection of StarBuck. Looks like Dylan Broda has finally found his way back into the fight. Grabbing him from the hair. Face first into the corner turnbuckle. And a chop to follow it up. That chop booming across Lumosali here tonight. The audience is eating all of this up right now, waiting in awe at what this match has to bring to them.
Dylan's taking this match a little slower than you would have expected, with all the fanfare surrounding this event.
Manhattan drop by the champion, and that one definitely connected with Dylan Broda, and he goes flying to the outside after a clothesline by the Rebel StarBuck.
What's to happen now? Now that they're outside of the ring, will StarBuck go out and chase Broda, or will Broda just have to get back in it on his own?
I think Broda has spent more time in the outside in this matchup so far than inside the ring. And we have Chance of Finland booming across the arena. StarBuck famously known as half Finnish, half Canadian. So at least half of those chants are going towards him.
Close enough, yeah.
Face first into the commentary desk where we are right now sitting behind. Not doing the commentary because our equipment broke, as you might have already heard.
It was still a sight to behold. Worry not.
Fighting in the audience right now, Dylan Broda trying to escape the clutches of the Canadian Rebel. Canadian Finnish Rebel, Finnish Canadian, how do you say it?
Something of the sort, but now StarBuck clubbing Dylan in the back of the head in the center stands.
And the crowd is getting what they paid for, maybe even more than that, as they're now fighting in the audience. And listen to the ravenous screams by the audience. They want to see blood tonight.
With that Richard Nixon-esque pose of StarBucks.
Dylan Broda getting Spiro Agnewed by StarBuck right now, trying to get back into the ring, having escaped from it first off. And look at that. Rake in the eyes of the champion right there, trying to get back into the fight. Now trying to send him into the steel post in the corner. Ends up reversing it, and Dylan Broda ends up eating a face full of Finnish steel.
Yeah, that can't feel good. I mean, you look at it.
Are you kidding me? That can't feel good, Dave McChaney?
That can't feel good. You look at it, you think you're setting up one move. You think you're going to send your opponent into the ring post. And then, your face is hitting the steel.
I don't think the matchup is going the way Dylan Broda expected it to go so far, as he's now eating some blows from StarBuck. Finally back inside the ring. The champion outside now, having a handshake with Amin Asikainen, the Finnish boxing legend. And now on the apron, making his way towards the ring. And look at that, Dylan Broda kicking the middle rope into a very, let's say,
sensitive area?
Exactly. My words exactly, Dave McChaney. And now Dylan Broda has the upper hand against the champion, the Rebel StarBuck.
Choking.
A blatant choke, by the way.
The life out of StarBuck. Damo's going to need to get this match in order.
And he's doing his best to keep it in order. As StarBuck shoulder barges Dylan Broda in the corner. Shots to the midsection by the champion. And a European uppercut to follow it. European uppercut by the champion. Heavy blows onto Dylan Broda once again, following it up with another one. And a headbutt by the champion. That'll do a lot of damage on him as well.
It most certainly will. It's a calculated decision, so you think he's doing the math right.
The crowd is definitely behind the champion, as he is giving Dylan Broda what he has asked for in the past 6 months or so. Now Irish whipped into the corner, following up with a forearm strike to the face. and keeps on wailing on the black and green mean machine former leader Dylan Broda. Irish whipping him now corner to corner. Dylan Broda floating over StarBuck, and a club to the back cuts the champion off. Face first into the corner goes StarBuck, as Dylan Broda is having his way with him right now. Irish whip corner to corner. StarBuck floating over this time, and a European uppercut to the chin and jaw of Dylan Broda.
And the crowd's eating it up. They're loving every minute of offense that StarBuck puts in, sending Dylan into the corner. The crowd reacts accordingly.
This one is a slobber knocker if I've ever seen one. And now, Irish whipping Dylan Broda once again, following it up with a shot to the jaw. That was a heavy punch by StarBuck. Referee Teemu Kytösaari needs to keep a close eye on this, because I think those might have been close fists.
They could have been. And now StarBuck's got Dylan in the corner. He can't keep him there forever.
Like said, he's given Dylan Broda what he's asked for in the past 6 months or so. Dylan Broda has definitely taken a turn for the worse, in my opinion. Never really a fan favorite, if we're being honest here, but this has definitely been a different type of Dylan for the past 6 months or so.
Well, a different type in that he hasn't been around, eh? He's out of practice right now, and he might be suffering the consequences of that there. But now look at this.
Referee Teemu trying to get StarBuck out of the corner. Look at that. Dylan Broda using that to his advantage, giving StarBuck a lariat, and I think, unfortunately, Ref Teemu might have taken a little bit of an unintentional DDT right there from StarBuck.
And now an intentional choke from Dylan Broda. And now he's just stomping away.
Ref Teemu is out of it completely.
Dylan's going to take advantage of this situation wholeheartedly. Look at him rolling Teemu out of the ring.
Helping him, would you say?
At least helping himself get a little bit more time without any referee interference. Now keeping StarBuck in the corner, a completely illegal tactic, choking him with his boot.
What's going to come out of this championship fight, as we have no referee right now? I think Teemu might be out of it completely. That was a heavy DDT, and he was definitely not expecting any of that.
And we're not going to get any other supplemental referees, as referee Domi is out of the country, and we have no one else here to supervise the action.
StarBuck now on the ropes as Dylan Broda is taking his sweet time, using those ropes to his advantage, choking the champion out as we speak.
But look, Teemu, he's willing himself back up. He might be able to get back into this match very soon and finally bring order and peace to Slam Wrestling.
But Dylan Broda has taken his sweet time on the ropes. Look at that. Not exactly helping referee Teemu to get back in the fight.
Not at all. Pushing him out of the ring, making sure he has more time to commit dastardly deeds.
And I think dastardly deeds are what Dylan Broda normally performs anyway. Now taking his sweet time in the middle of the ring. Oh snap, as he tells the audience. Ends up eating a boot to the midsection by StarBuck, who is now fighting to get his way back into this fight. Face first into the corner goes Dylan Broda. Irish whip by StarBuck, reversed by Dylan Broda in the corner right now. Dylan Broda, face first into the corner. Schoolboy roll up, 1, 2, 3, but where is the referee?
No ref to be found. Now Dylan, he kicks out of it as he had much more time, and he sends a big kick onto StarBuck's face.
So that must have been a 7 count already by StarBuck, who has actually won this match, but the referee was not there to count it. So the match goes on. But will we get a conclusion to this fight or not? Referee Teemu is nowhere to be seen, still in the outside, trying to make his way back into the ring.
Yeah, he's crawling in right now. He's gonna need some juice, gonna need some pickup. The crowd's chanting for him to get to his feet.
A side backbreaker by Dylan Broda. Very proud of himself. Still a little bit out of it, but I think he's asking for a little bit of a refreshment from the commentary desk just to get back into the fight, dousing himself with it. As Dylan Broda and StarBuck are still fighting for the championship title in the middle of the ring, raining heavy blows onto each other. And a rake of the eyes once again by Dylan Broda.
Oh no, Teemu's back down.
Just as he got back into the fight, he's down once again. What an unfortunate evening for the Slam Wrestling Finland head referee Teemu Kytösaari.
Does Slam Wrestling have workers' comp?
I certainly hope so, because it might be that Teemu is going to be out of it for quite some time. And now Dylan Broda ringing the bell with what seems to be a tire iron. What is a tire iron doing in a wrestling event anyways?
It's to ring the bell, of course. What else would you use to ring the bell?
I certainly hope Dylan's not going to be using it against StarBuck in this fight right now, as Teemu definitely not being able to get on his feet right now to stop what's going to happen soon enough.
You know that these dastardly deeds Dylan plays are no short of evil. And here he comes with the tire iron.
Oh, look at that! He hits StarBuck in the back of the knee with that one, and listen to him screaming in pain.
Just pure resentment, pure hatred. And now he's got StarBuck in the back, but Teemu's back to his feet.
Teemu saw that one, and I think he might be disqualifying Dylan Broda right here. Is he going to disqualify him or not? He definitely saw that strike right there. Dylan Broda still with the tire iron in hand, pushing away referee Teemu Kytösaari. StarBuck back for it. Manhattan dropping Dylan Broda, and now sending him sky high with a big back body drop.
What an incredible sequence by StarBuck, managing to disarm Dylan Broda to preserve his chances at winning back his Slam Wrestling Championship.
Dylan Broda now begging in the corner for StarBuck to stop. He has the tire iron in hand, and he's gonna pay back Dylan for what he's done to him. But referee Teemu Kytösaari asking StarBuck not to use the tire iron, as we now have the fight back, as StarBuck is laying down those heavy blows onto the face of Dylan Broda. Irish whipping him once again. Heavy lariat in the corner, grabbing in his head, maybe for a patent. StarBuck bulldog in the middle of the ring.
That bulldog was impactful. Now he's going for the cover.
2. So close to a free count right there, but just in the nick of time. Dylan Broda gets his shoulder up. Therefore, the fight still continues.
StarBuck's signaling to the crowd. Something big is coming. What does he have cooking in his plans?
Grabbing Dylan Broda's head, sending him off of the ropes right now. Shot to the midsection of Dylan Broda, grabbing his head. Russian leg sweeping him onto the canvas. Doesn't go for the pinfall immediately. That might already be it for Dylan Broda if he did.
He's setting up something else. In the corner he goes. Climbing to the second rope. What's he planning here?
Off for the second rope, perhaps an elbow drop coming up onto the sternum and the throat of Dylan Broda. StarBuck, the champion, is a house of fire right now as he goes for the pinfall. 1, 2, 2.9 once again. The matchup still continues. StarBuck has not retained his championship. Neither has Dylan Broda won it either.
You would think Dylan's completely sold out of this match. He doesn't have much left in the tank.
The crowd behind the champion, they want to see him retaining his title right here tonight. Ref seems to be back in the game as well. Still probably feeling those effects from what happened earlier on.
And then later on, the second blow that Teemu took also knocked him out of the action.
StarBuck paying back Dylan Broda for what he has done to him in the past 6 months or so, and maybe even longer. A heavy shot to the chin. Dylan Broda taking it like a champ though. Irish whipped into the corner, floating over StarBuck, and look at that! Out of nowhere! A backstabber to the champion. That might be it. 1, 2,
Not 3. He kicks out at 2.
Dave McChaney, StarBuck kicking out before the count of 3, and Dylan Broda cannot believe it.
Can it be any surprise that StarBuck kicked out before the count of 3? He's put everything he's got into winning back his championship, retaining his title.
Slowly making his way up to the corner right there. I think StarBuck will be feeling the effects of that one for weeks to come from now. And now Dylan Broda blatantly choking the champion, being counted out in the corner. He definitely does not want to get disqualified at this point.
No, but it's a long count, so the ref's letting them play.
No one here in the arena wants this match to end up in a disqualification, as StarBuck is slowly getting up. And look at that, Dylan Broda has taken his knee pad off. He's going for a strike in the corner. StarBuck ducking under in the nick of time, grabs onto the leg of Dylan Broda, and a dragon screw. The Keiji Muto signature move from StarBuck onto Dylan Broda's leg. Picks it up again, goes for another one. It's kind of beginning to smell like the end times for Dylan Broda. StarBuck in the corner now. Might be setting up the band to a specific tune. Here it comes, the super kick onto the jaw of Dylan Broda. Pinfall, 1, 2, and 3. There we have it. Retaining his Slam Wrestling Finland Championship is the Rebel StarBuck.
And as Jabari's announcing, our retained, our current Slam Wrestling Champion, the Rebel StarBuck. Congratulations, you slayed the demon, you beat the devil, and you're still the champ. All bets are on StarBuck when he's in the ring.
Proudly displaying his title to the audience here at Lumosali. This has been SuperSLAM 2. The start of 2025, we have StarBuck as the champion. How will the rest of the year go for Slam Wrestling Finland? Catch us live or on Triller TV. I've been Sly Sebastian.
I've been Dave McChaney.
And we hope to see you again next time.